in the last lectures, I gave one homework. Am I right? Did you check that one? Did you check that homework? Lumbini. Lumbini,
Yes, sir. Yes,
did
sir.
you check that homework? Is it okay? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
And did you check the past paper as well? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Nice. So I don't want to repeat again. Then they want to say first copper, they want to split, and then they want to say the nitrogen, because they don't worry about the oxygen. Oxygen, they want to say I is equal to 0. So we don't worry. Then only we know about nitrogen. Then we had a problem. Next, carbon. Here is a carbon. Here is a HA. Then carbon again, we don't worry. I is equal to 0. But HA, they have I is equal to half. At the same time, HB also I is equal to half. But they want to get the spectrum 1:2:1:2:2, like that ratio. So maybe HA or HB, we don't know about that one. Then what way they are doing? They want to go for the supporting evidence. That means they want to replace the HA proton via the deuterium. Then deuterium, they have I is equal to 1. So if it is 1, then we want to say 2 into 1 into 1 plus 1. So it want to give the another pattern as like a nitrogen. Okay, but HA protons, then same time they can play with HA proton replaced by CH3 group. Then that nitrogen atom directly annexed to the carbon, not for the hydrogen. Then that hydrogen, 3 hydrogens are far away from the nitrogen or far away from the delocalized electron. So it will not be affected. So they want to say similar ESR spectrum obtain or whatever is it. Similarly, they want to try with the HB. Then when they are playing with HA proton, they didn't observe any other changes. Then they want to say, okay, HA proton is not be affected in the ESR spectrum, because they want to say the reason is the NHA protons of the hyperfine splitting by that one is either too small or we cannot be detect, right? Based on our magnetic field. So if you want to detect that one, you want to go for the higher resolution ESR spectrum. Right? Now we want to start the new topic, that's the spectrum. Then they want to say why they get the 1:2:3:4, because this green line they want to mention clearly. Am I right? So here these set are come closer and merge together. So then you want to get the 3 ratio. Similarly, 2 into 3 become as a 5. And again, 3 into 2 become as a 5. And 2 into 1 become as a 3. So that's the one set of equation. They want to say this is the one set of spectrum. Then into multiply by 4 times. Because copper, they have a 3/2. So they want to produce 1:1:1:1. It's clear now? At least one person say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Now we want to go for the application part. There's the last topic, application of ESR spectroscopy. So we know that what are the information we can gathering from the ESR spectrum. The first one, number of peaks. Second one, relative intensities of peaks. So we can find out the what is the intensity, and we know that nuclear hyperfine splitting. And also in addition, we can get the type of splitting. That means they want to merge together or not, we can find out the reason, right? So from that information, we can predict some important things from the molecule. For an example, the oxidation state of the metal ion. right? We can get the oxidation state. And geometrical structure. That's why we want in the last example, we want to say the HA protons is perpendicular to the nitrogen atom. That's a geometrical structure. So that's why we want to say it cannot be affect. Then covalent character, if they have a double bond or single bond. If they have a single bond, is easily rotate. If they have a double bond or triple bond, it cannot be rotated simultaneously. So in that one, they want to say the different hydrogen atom are the different environment. Okay, right. Then first case, the restricted rotation. So we want to say covalent character. So look at the example. Benzene ring is the center of the molecule, but they have a carbon atom. So we don't worry about that part. Okay. Then they want to say the nitrogen, they have I is equal to 1, but it's far away. Between the carbon to nitrogen bond is very long rather than the carbon to hydrogen. So we only consider the hydrogen are affected because that one directly attached to the bond. Okay, here is the 1, 2, 3, 4. So we normally think about this HA. Okay. This HA proton is almost same as this HA proton. Are you agree? And simultaneously, this HB is almost same as this HB proton. When we ignore this one, when we ignore the part of this bond and this bond, then look at the just only for the benzene ring. Then we want to think about two HA protons are same environment, two HB protons are same environment. But the observed ESR spectrum and their intensity ratio we want to get as a 1:1:1:1 up to 16 times. So that ESR spectrum give the following information because they want to come as a 1:1:1. So they want to say as per earlier studies in the case 1, they want to say the components has 4 different protons. So 2 to the power of n, 2 to the power of 4, we get the 60 number of peaks. And also those 16 are individual one. So their intensity ratio is same. Right. Then we have a, here we look at that one, the nitrogen doesn't matter. They have a double bond and double bond. So we don't worry about it, maybe rotate either this side or that side. But here is the carbon, here is a double bond and here is a single bond. So this carbon we call as a sp2 hybridization. Am I right? Hasna?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is a sp2 hybridization. Then if it is sp2, they have a double bond. So you imagine this double bond, we cannot be rotate easily. Am I right? If it is single bond, you can rotate into 180 or 360 degree. So this rotation will be restricted. So this oxygen atom cannot be replaced as a HCO, whatever is it. So that's why they want to say there's the restricted rotation in pH, that's a benzene ring to carbon. If there is no restricted rotation, then what will happen? These two are same environment, these two are same environment. Then we can get the answer as a 1:2:1, 2:4:2, 1:2:1. But we want to get the answer as a 1:1:1:1:1 up to 16 times. So definitely we want to say there's a restricted rotation and two HA atoms are different environment. Simultaneously, two HB atoms are in the different environment. Right? It's clear now? Demery?
Yes, sir.
Is it clear or doubt?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yes, sir mean, what do you mean? Yes.
I understood.
Yeah, good. Right. Then calculate the electron density. Earlier also we studied that naphthalene ion, anion, and then we want to say HA proton want to split first, and then HP proton want to split. Then we want to get the 25 peaks in the based on this ratio. So we want to say the observed ESR spectrum and the intensity ratio, they want to give it to you. Now we have a chance to find out which one want to split first, HA or HB. So in that case, they want to give one additional information, hyperfine splitting QH is equal to A into rho I. A is the hyperfine splitting constant, rho I is the electron density. So they want to give the ratio for the hyperfine splitting proton A and proton B is equal to 2.68. So it will give the clear identification because A is a constant. So rho IA is a greater value rather than the rho IB. So that means the electron density of A proton, they have a higher electron density. So they want to split first, then HB proton want to split. That's why we already done by the normal method. We want to say HA proton want to split first. Now we can calculate the electron density. In that case, you have to remember this equation. QH is equal to A into rho I. So far in the last 5 years, they didn't ask these kind of question, but God knows sometimes they want to ask, right? But actual ratio of the electron density is almost 2.62. So your calculation value, you want to say 2.68, but the actual one is 2.62. So it's clear identification. The HA proton want to split first, then only HB proton want to split, right? Then we want to say from that information, we can find out the oxidation state as well. So here we want to go for the metal ion complex. Nature of the metal ion. So we are talking about the d orbital, f orbital, am I right? S orbital, p orbital, d orbital, and f orbital. So far we already studied these kind of things. So since d metal, okay, since d metal ions have 5d orbital situation, are complicated. So you don't worry about the 5d orbital because it's far away from the nucleus. So it will be more complicated one. So if you go for the foreign or anywhere places to study the spectrum, in the future, maybe you want to study, otherwise you don't worry about. So with that ESR spectrum are informative. So we don't worry about that one. In a 4D and 5D series, both of the D series, I think one person already asked that one, capital L, capital S coupling, angular momentum orbital coupling, and JJ coupling are strong. So ESR spectrum is hard to interpret. Why we want to ignore that one? We want to say it's very hard to interpret. So crystal field is not affecting the 4F or 5F electron. That means your actinide lanthanide series. So the ESR spectrum is very easy and simple. So if it is very simple, again, we don't want to study. So we are only targeting for the 4D series, little bit hard, but we want to know about that one. If ion contains more than one unpaired electron, then we want to talk about zero field splitting. We don't want to apply the magnetic field, but it automatically split because they have a more than one unpaired electron. So these are the one and one unpaired electron. Maybe if it is parallel, then they want to oppose together. So the energy will be separated, right? Right. Then geometry of the metal ion complex. We can study the geometry also. Ligands and their arrangement, crystal field splitting. Here we want to talk about crystal field splitting. We want to study later part. Here they want to mention this diagram. What is capital J? What is L? What is S? If you are interested, I want to ignore this slide. If you are interested, please refer Atkins physical chemistry book. They want to tell very clearly how it's that work. Okay, but in the exam paper, I don't want to ask you to explain how the LS coupling or J coupling is working or anything else. I don't want to ask. Just only fundamental, I want to say the relative magnitude of crystal field splitting and LS coupling is giving three situations. Three different situations won't arises due to the CFS and LS coupling. If the complex ion is having cubic symmetry, we already know that anisotropic and isotropic effect, then we want to say G is the isotropic. In the first lectures, we studied that one. Complexes with at least one axis of symmetry, they show two G values because one is the axis of symmetry, other two axes are not in the symmetry. So perpendicular and parallel. Am I right? We already studied in our level 2G as well. Ions with no symmetry element will show 3G value because if it is there's no symmetry, then we want to consider z-axis, x-axis, and also y-axis. Okay, so they have a three different G values, not for perpendicular or parallel. Right. Then we want to go for the number of d electrons, how they want to affect. Then only we can know about the our oxidation states. Right. Number of d electron. We don't worry about the 5d electron, and 4f and 5f we want to ignore it. That is very easy. So magnetically active nucleus hosts hyperfine splitting. That one we already know that. If more than one unpaired electron present in the ion, so more number of transition are possible. If it is one electron only, we want to say one transition, right? If you go for the two different electrons, then the transition will be increased. For an example, the hydrogen, if it is one hydrogen atom, we want to have a one peak. If they have a two hydrogen atom in the same environment, then we want to get the 1:2:1 peak. That means 3 peaks. Leads to the fine structure of the ESR spectrum. Then we want to divide in the two different group, two different things. One is a zero field splitting, is already arise in the exam paper, and Harmer's degeneracy. So zero field splitting of electronic levels even in absence of external magnetic field. I already mentioned if they have a more than one electron, what will happen? If they have a parallel, then they want to repel force. Then their energy want to split. Am I right? If the energy is enough for that particular region for the transition, am I right? Then we can observe the ESR spectrum. So here they want to say splitting of electronic levels even in absence of external magnetic field. So the zero field splitting means there is no magnetic field. Okay, but the Harmer's degeneracy is the other way around. In any system with odd number of unpaired electrons, earlier they want to say zero splitting means electronic levels even absence of external magnetic field. But Harmer's degeneracy, they want to say if they have an odd number of electrons, then definitely they want to go for the Harmer's degeneracy. In any system with odd number of unpaired electrons, the ZFS, that means zero field splitting, leaves the ground state at least doubly degenerate. Okay, they cannot be split. So they want to again doubly degenerate. So that one we call as a Harmer's degeneracy. So we simply say the zero field splitting will applicable for the even number of unpaired electrons. Harmer's degeneracy is applicable for the odd number of unpaired electrons. Okay, it's clear? Midula?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now we want to go for the one by one. First example is a zero field splitting. Right? Occurs mainly transition metal complex. That's the important word. we are only talk about the transient metal complex where there are more than one, within bracket they want to say even number of unpaired electrons. So then what will happen? They want to remove the degeneracy of transition and more transition observed than expected one. Because we want to say ms is 0 and plus or minus 1, then we normally say, okay, plus or minus 1 goes somewhere else, 0 is somewhere else. But here, that's the problem is, 1 is a pair, plus 1 and minus 1. Other one is a single one. If they have a single one, they want to, it will be disturbed to the pairs. You may know your university life, am I right? If anyone are single, they want to disturb the lovers, am I right? Right. So ms is 0 and plus or minus 1. So 0 will give the same energy level. Look at that one. Then plus 1 want to go high and minus 1 want to come as a lower. But we didn't apply any other magnetic field. If we are applying the magnetic field, definitely they want to split. But we didn't apply, even though they want to split. But we are lucky, those gap between the ms plus 1, ms 0, and ms 0 and ms minus 1 are equal. So considering the system with two unpaired electrons, in absence of external magnetic field, all three states are having equal energy. With external field, three levels are no longer with the same energy. Then we want to expect two transitions are possible and both are same energy level. Then we want to say we can observe only for one signal. But what will happen? That is a ZFS 0. But when you apply the magnetic field or effect of Doppler shift, the splitting may be assisted by distortion and LS coupling. That's the reason I want to introduce the LS coupling earlier. Now we are thinking about this gap between this line and this line are almost equal. Am I right? But due to the LS coupling, when there is a strong dipolar interaction, there's a strong dipolar interaction will arises in the +1 level. That means the right hand side. So they want to rise the energy level. So this is a gap they want to say they want to rise the energy level. Okay. So this is a gap. So this gap they want to increase the energy level for the ms plus 1. At the same time, they want to shift ms minus 1 as well for up to that level. Okay, both the plus 1 and minus 1 want to raise the energy level. Then what will happen now? Look at the spectrum. So this line have a higher energy rather than this line. Am I right? So earlier we want to say two of the lines on the same energy level. So we want to get the one peak. Now we want to say two of the energy level are the different. So we want to observe the two different peaks. So results in two lines we want to observe. Okay. So for the zero field splitting, we want to consider the dipolar shift as well. So they automatically lifted a little bit up. That gap we want to call as a dipolar shift. So in your exam paper, I think they didn't ask you earlier. Maybe in the future they can ask or not. I don't know. So they want to say what is the energy for this line. Okay, and this line. And then they want to say where they want to observe the P. Delta E1 and delta E2. Then if you know the delta E2 and delta E1 and this green line, right? Then you can get the value of Doppler shift. Am I right? Delta E2 minus this value will give the Doppler shift. So it's depend on the past. Check the book. ESR books, they want to ask these kind of question as well. Anyone has any doubt in the zero field splitting? Ajita?
No, sir.
No doubt.
No.
Right. So then we want to move to the Harmus degeneracy. So system with even number of unpaired electrons will contain a state S is equal to 0. But in the case of earlier, we want to say they have a S is equal to 0. That means they have a alone. Then if they have a pair, they want to distribute. But in the case of odd number of electrons, for the Harmus degeneracy, we are dealing with the odd number of electrons. So in the case of odd number of electrons, there is no state with the S is equal to 0. So if, for an example, ms half or plus or minus half, plus or minus 3 by 2 or 1 or 2 like that one, there is no 0 value for the odd number of electron. The simple one is the odd number. If they have a 3 unpaired electron, then we going to say 3 by 2. Am I right? Then ms value become as a plus or minus 3 by 2 and plus or minus half. So all are doubly degenerate. So they don't want to disturb. But in the case of 2 unpaired electron, then what will happen? They have a ms is equal to plus or minus 1 and 0. Then 0 will be effect to other things. So in such cases, even after ZFS, the spin state with opposite ms value, that means plus half and minus half values, remain degenerate. So it cannot be destroyed as like the plus 1 and minus 1, which is called as Harmus degeneracy. These energy levels called as a Harmus doubly degeneracy energy levels. That's why we call as a Harmus doublets. Okay. The simple example in the past paper question, they want to say MnH2O 6 times 2 plus. So here the Mn2 plus, that means electronic configuration, they want to say D5 S2, then if it is 2 plus D5 S0. So we want to draw the energy level diagram. So these 5 spin because H2O is a weak ligand, not for strong ligand. Am I right? If it is strong ligand and weak ligand, we already studied. Mayurika?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, did you remember the weak ligand and strong ligand in your level 2G and 3G?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if it is weak ligand, first they want to fill the high orbital and then only they want to come to the lower one, the coupling one. So they want to say they have 5 unpaired electrons. So S value is a 5 by 2, half. So 5 by 2. Then Ms became as a plus 5 by 2, plus or minus 3 by 2, and plus or minus half. So this stage we call as a F6. Don't worry about this term. You don't worry about the F6. If you know that, you can write down in the exam paper, but we don't worry. We don't want to give the marks. Okay. Did you study the point group? Sugumaran?
Yes, sir.
Did you study the point group or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you may know that, ma'am, right? X. What is the meaning of S? What is the meaning of 6? I don't know. Do you remember or not? Okay. We don't worry about that part. So the free ion, that means Mn2 plus. So first ZF and resulting with the Harmus doublet. Because here there is no dipolar shift or anything else. So they want to come as a doubly degeneracy energy level. Ms plus or minus 5 by 2, Ms plus or minus 3 by 2, Ms plus or minus half. Then when you apply the magnetic field only, that's a name we call as an external field, then only they want to split. So now we want to get Ms plus 5 by 2 plus 3 by 2 plus half minus 3 by 2 and minus 5 by 2. Then according to the selection rule, they have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 transition are possible. Okay, for the electron, not for the nucleus, right? Here is a 5 transition. Then we want to think about what is the value of I value for the Mn. For an example, we want to say I is equal to 5 by 2 for the Mn. Then we want to say 2 into N into I plus 1. So 6. So each of the line, this line, we want to say each of the line. So I want to denote, sorry, each of the line. So this line won't split again as a 6. Again, this line won't split as a 6. Again, this line also won't split as a 6. So 6 into 5, we want to get the 30 peaks. It's clear now? It's clear, guys? Midula?
Okay, sir.
It's clear why we want to say 30 peaks. The 5 peaks came from the electron. Earlier, we want to say, for an example, the hydrogen, the simple example, we want to say hydrogen, they have a plus or minus half. So there's only one electron. Then that electron won't split as a plus half and minus half. Then there's a one transition. That one transition, we want to say 1 into, then the nucleus 2Ni plus 1. If they have a different number of electrons, then we want to talk about the zero field or harmless degeneracy. Well, look at the previous slide. Right. Here also, we want to get the two different lines. Then where they want to say, for an example, Fe, and then they want to say their I value is a 3 by 2. Then we want to say they want to give a 4 nuclear transition, nucleus, 2Ni plus 1. 2 into 1 into 3 by 2 plus 1 become as a 4. So here also we want to get the 4 lines, right? Again, here also we want to get the 4 lines. So 4 into 2 become as a 8. So it depends on the electronic structure. That's why we want to say we can identify the oxidation number. When we change the oxidation number, the electronic environment also change. Right? Up to that one is clear. Now consequence. Now we know that, okay, this is a way to sort it out, the ESR spectrum. But there are some special cases. Some cases we are think about like that way. That particular way we want to think about, okay, 30M students are clever rather than 3M students are clever rather than the 3G students. But the consequence is other way around. 3G students are maybe clever rather than the 3M students. Okay, like that one. In some cases, ZFS magnitude is very high. Okay, why they are coming? ZFS magnitude. So zero field splitting magnitude is very high than the splitting by external field. So external field is a small rather than the ZFS magnitude. So then what will happen? Then transition require very high energy because ZFS, they won't split. For an example, go back to this previous one. Okay, look at here, MS plus 1, MS 0, and MS minus 1. Maybe this one is very high. This delta E2 is very high. Then what will happen? When you apply the magnetic field, you can't easily access that transition. Then you may not observe that kind of peak. That's why they want to say then transition require very high energy. Sometime we are expecting 3 transition, but we want to get only 1 or no transition occurs. For an example, vanadium 3 plus and cobalt 2 plus complexes. We want to study that one. One example is the cobalt 2 plus complexes. Then we want to write down the electronic structure. is a D7. So D7, then we want to say is a 3/2. Okay, then we know that they want to obey the Harm's degeneracy, and then the ms plus or minus 3/2 and ms plus or minus half. But that ZFS is around 200 centimeter minus 1. Then what will happen? Then after that, when you apply the magnetic field, they want to split like this. They don't want to cross this line. Okay. Earlier we want to draw the line like this. They want to cross it and they want to go like that. Am I right? Then we want to say this is a ms 3/2. That one is a ms plus 3/2. Then we want to say ms minus half to minus 3/2. There's a possible transition. And minus half to plus half also possible transition. Like that one we want to predict earlier. But now we want to say the ZFS is a huge energy. So the splitting gap become as a huge. Then if that gap became as a huge, then you need the higher external field to cross that one. But we want to say we want to apply particular magnetic field only. So it cannot be crossed. Then we want to think about, earlier we want to think about, okay, there's a possible transition between the minus half to minus 3/2 and plus half to plus 3/2. At the same time, minus half to plus 3/2 also. Minus half to plus half also possible. So we are expecting 3 transition, right? In the cobalt 2 in cubic field has a ground term F4. Don't worry about the ground term. Okay, we don't worry about this term. Since it is a D7 system, it has a plus 3/2 and minus half. ZFS, they want to say 200. Since the energy gap is higher, only the transition possible. So we are expecting 3 transition, but we are got only for the 1 transition because these are the smaller energy gap rather than these one. This is a huge one, and also this transition also need huge energy. So it's not under our magnetic field constant because we want to apply only for the particular magnetic field. So we can't get these 2 green line, only we can observe the yellow line. So in that case, it's a consequence because we want to expect is a 3, but due to the higher ZFS, so in your exam paper, they want to ask like that. They want to say, okay, for an example, cobalt 2 complex, they only get the 1 transition. Explain your answer, simple question. Then you want to explain, draw the energy level diagram, and like this, you want to say we are expecting 3 lines, including green and yellow, but based on the ZFS, it may be higher value. That is the reason there's only 1 possible transition. Okay, because based on the selection rules, these 3 lines are possible. But only for the ZFS is a higher value, then only they want to give you a 1 peak. Is clear? Demery, is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Pranavan? Kamal?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you disappear sometime. You want to come sometime. I don't know what is the reason. I want to talk with you later. Okay, don't leave your group. Right. Okay, then some cases they want to break down the selection rule. In some cases, like vanadium 3 complex, the magnitude of ZF is very high. Right? Vanadium, we want to say just only 2 unpaired electron. So it's under the ZFS theory, not for the Harm's degeneracy. Then MS0 and MS plus or minus 1. This energy level is so high. Right? So they need the higher ZFS. Then what will happen? They want to split again by the external magnetic field as MS plus 1, MS minus 1, and MS0. Right? In that case, we want to say MS0 to MS minus 1 also possible transition, right? There's a one transition is look like this, and other transition may be possible. Both true transition will give the based on the selection rule. But we can't get these two transition due to the very high ZFS theory. But unfortunately, we want to get the very weak transition. That's a forbidden transition. They want to say very weak and very low intense transition. In that mean, they want to mention very weak or very low intense transition mean the transition come are the forbidden transition. So they want the normal transition occur with the delta ms plus or minus 1, but its energy exceed the microwave region, so we can't get the spectrum. Then the transition from ms minus 1 to ms plus 1. So what is the delta ms? They want to say plus or minus 2. That one is a forbidden, but we want to get the very weak transition. Because there's no transition the other way around, just only the weak transition want to appear. That weak transition arises from the different selection rules. But that different selection rule we want to say based on the higher ZFS. If they have a lower ZFS, then we want to get these two green line. That one is the dominant one, so we can't observe the forbidden one. That means if you have a high signal and your weak signal want to disappear, because we are getting the spectrum via the di over dB. That means first derivative mode. If you know that, if you do the derivation, if you have a high peak, the low peak will be disappear. So that's a simple reason they want to follow that one, because the noise ratio will be disappear. Here there is no peak, so the weak signal will be appear. Further, hyperfine splitting. Hyperfine splitting will come through the nucleus. So the nuclear spin they want to say 7 by 2. So 2 into 1 into 7 by 2 plus 1 become as a 8. So there's a 1 forbidden. They want to split again as a 8 small peaks. So we want to get only for the 8 signal. Right? That's it. Then rest of the two slide, the instrument works, how that instrument is work. I don't want to teach you and I don't want to ask the question from that part. So that's up to you. You want to refer, because I didn't teach you the principle properly. I want to just only teach you the principle in the first two slides, and then how to split, how is the hyperfine splitting is work, and how the consequence is coming. So I want to teach you in the part by part, but if you are interested, you want to refer the rest of the things and fulfill the principle of ESR spectrum. Okay, if you are interested, you want to refer and you want to write it down, and don't worry, you can send it to me. I will check your principle is correct, or you miss some more points, you want to add that one, I can correct it. So you can send me your answer if you want. Otherwise, you want to ignore it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, and
Thank
see
you
you
very
on
much.
next week. Okay,
Thank you.
bye guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you, and bye bye.